So I was listening to an interview today on NPR that was on Fresh Air with Woody Allen. And I think it's very interesting the questions that she finally asked him in public because people previously have not approached some of the questions that she did. And I don't like gossip kind of junk, so I'm only going to talk about this in reference to the fact that you would know the situation. I could be talking about the situation with anybody like this, but only because he's a famous person and not someone who lives down on your block. Do you know the whys and wherefores and how things went down? Well, the main part of it, I didn't want to discuss all the specifics, but rather instead the way in which he approached a certain decision of his life that had to do with paying attention to society's views of things and taking them over or instead of his own internal compass of what was not only right and wrong, but what would make him happy for the rest of his life, seeking an outside source to give him some sort of, I guess he said something like legitimacy over decisions he makes or something like that. But that's not a way to live a fulfilled and happy life, seeking outside for recognizing if what you're doing is right, because only you know what's right for you. Okay, so I think that's what he said. That I was thinking about that in terms of how he chose to get married, and thinking about when you throw off the idea of whatever is the social construct that makes that acceptable or not. And a situation in public where it was the same choice, but I think for very different reasons. So I'm going to compare this to when the Duke of Windsor, got rid of his status, his royal status, so that he could marry the woman he loved. Well, it was somewhat in a way for selfish reasons due to the fact that he was in love, but even more so because then he wasn't going to be fulfilling within his family, what was going to be expected of him. The other part of that on Woody Allen's side is that due to the close nature at which he first met her and some questionably other things that was part of his mindset or designs or whatever you want to say, that makes it all the more confusing that he chose the wife he has now. And that, I was talking with someone, was this a part of his Asperger's? Was this some sort of antisocial expression? Because I remember in one movie of his, he said one line that has to do with the heart knows no reason or something like that. And I was thinking about that in terms of when a person makes a decision, when it's based on selfishness or going against society when it's right or wrong, and how that can change in society's ideas or, by culture or something like that. So I was wondering if other people had those sort of notions about the way that you make decisions, considering, the way that they're going to affect other people, society's views of it, how it might or might not change exactly what you do, and different times at which you've made a decision that was right for the circumstance, but then if you're faced with a similar one in another part of your life that you would have had to have chosen the opposite. Because keep finding in situations where it isn't so much that you choose the best answer, just the one with the least problems. I don't know. So I'd love to hear back, comments or response videos. I appreciate it all. Thank you very much, and God bless you with peace.